This joke was told me by my good friend Frankie. He was fucked up one night, and he told me the joke. And it's the greatest joke in the world. And I'll explain the joke afterward, after I tell it. Actually, maybe I won't even explain it.
It doesn't need to explain. I mean, you get to the punchline, it's like, boom, done.
All right.
Sell it.
There's a guy on a farm. He's got a nice farm. Beautiful, immaculate farm. He's got cows, horses, jackasses, chickens. He's got one rooster. He's got whatever else you would have at a farm. Maybe some snakes. I don't know. He's a weird guy.
Snake farm.
Yeah, he's a weird guy. Maybe he's got some trouser snakes laying around his farm. So one day he comes out and his rooster is dead. And he's like, well, you know, I need more chickens and I need more eggs, so I have to go get a new rooster. So he goes up to the farm feed shop and he talks to the guy behind the counter and gets up there and he's like, hey, like my rooster died, I need a new rooster. He's like, well, what kind of rooster are you looking for? He's like, well, I got a lot of stuff going on, I have a lot of deadlines to make. Like, we got you. We got a big black cock named Rudy. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, Rudy. Big black rooster. He'll fuck anything. And he's like, he'll fuck anything? Yeah. You put him on your farm, you're good to go. He's gonna fuck everything. He's like, alright, well, whatever, yeah. Hand some money over, you promise? Like, yeah, guaranteed you'll be good. So he brings Rooster home, lets him go. Rooster just runs into the chicken coop. Who knows what's going on in there? The next day he wakes up, he comes out. It's about 6 a.m., maybe 5 a.m. I don't know when farmers wake up, but I imagine that's around the time. They stretch it. Looks over to his left. Sees this horse, Abigail. And on the back of this horse is Rudy, and he's just going to town, just fucking that horse. And he's like, well, that's kind of weird. And then, you know, the rooster finishes, and Rudy goes on his way. He's like, wow, that's kind of weird. So he goes and does his chores that day. The next day he wakes up, comes outside, 5 o'clock. 5:30 this day. He'd been drinking a little bit Jack Daniels that night.
Fair.
Stretching, looks over to the right. And damned if it be, Rudy is on the back of a pig, just fucking plowing away.
Just getting that hog.
Just getting that hog.
Feeding the hog, all the hog.
So the farmer, like, he's getting a bit suspicious now about Rudy, the big black cock, and he's like, I'm gonna have to go back to the farm feed shop. So he goes back to the farm feed shop and he's like, hey, I didn't know that this rooster was into interspecies erotica. You know, he's been fucking every farm animal. He's like, yeah, that's what we told you. He'll fuck everything. You're good, dude. He's like, is this normal? He's like, no, they want it. And I'm like, all right, well.
I'm not sure if the horse gave consent.
So he goes, nay. He goes, that's no.
That's a hell of a fucking rooster.
So he comes out the next day, you know, and the rooster's fucking a chicken. Well, that's great. That's what he's supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, cheers. Cheers to you, Rudy. Go, wakes up the next day, stretches out, 6 o'clock in the morning, looks over to the right. There's Rudy, fucking a jackass. Boom, 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 boom. Just going to town, making that ass a jackass. So,
Getting that ass.
getting that ass. So the final day, the farmer wakes up, he comes out, 6 o'clock in the morning, stretches, and he expects to see Rudy on top of one of his other farm animals, maybe a snake. He is a snake farmer in this version. Maybe a trouser snake. He wakes up and he sees nothing. All the animals are not living in fear for whatever reason. And he looks off in the distance, and in the woods he sees some vultures flying around. And he's like, oh my god, one of my animals have died. So he gets his flashlight. It's still like 5 o'clock in the morning. It's before daylight savings time, so obviously it's still dark. People are gonna rape me on the internet. He goes out there with his flashlight, he's looking around, and he follows the vultures going around in circles. And he sees Rudy. And Rudy, the big black cock, is upside down with his legs straight out. A very comical way to look dead in a cartoon. And he's like, oh my god, Rudy, are you okay? And there's like no answer. He's like, oh my god. Rudy, Rudy, no answer. He's like, I can't believe this. You fucked yourself to death. You fucked everything on my farm. You fucked yourself to death. And all of a sudden he hears, psst. The farmer's like, what? He's like, psst, hey. He's like, oh my God. You're alive. Rudy, you can talk? He's like, psst, hey, shut up. I'm trying to fuck these vultures.